We owe much to the Alliance.
An alarming rumor has reached me thanks to our spies. The Forsaken are mustering in Tirisfal Glades. For what purpose, I do not know. Notably, Kalia Menenthil has gone there as well. We must know more of what they are up to, now that the accursed Banshee Queen no longer unites them. Go, don a disguise, and see what you can discover. Observe everything, and if there's opportunity to gain their trust and learn more, do as they ask. I eagerly await your report.
The Alliance must don a disguise and travel deep into enemy territory. Do not let down your guard. In life, Kalia Menethil endured more than her share of sorrow. She may not be a typical undead, but the Forsaken are not to be trusted.
No time for dallying.
Send me to Tirisfal Glades.
Who are... Oh, my apologies. I did not recognize you at first. I hope that the old wolf has sent you to help. I believe doing so could benefit the Alliance just as much as the Horde.
The people of Lordaeron have suffered greatly. I hope I am able to find my home here among them, with the Forsaken. Kalia studies you closely for a moment, a smile on her lips. You will fit right in. And do not fear, I will not reveal you to the others here, but please understand, many of the Forsaken were once citizens of Lordaeron. They are trying to do something extraordinary here, and I promise, if you play along and help them, it will be worth the effort. It will make for a better Azeroth.
May you find peace within.
It's heartening to see progress has been made in rebuilding Brill, but this is only a first step. The ruins of the capital remain inaccessible because of the Blight, and here is where I'd hope you will aid the cause. Restoring as much of the land as possible will require a gathering of minds all working towards a singular purpose. A number of influential figures have risen to prominence among the Forsaken. Please, help bring them together so we can meet and discuss the path forward.
For Lordaeron.
Why wouldn't the Forsaken welcome you? It begins with my name. I am Arthas Menenthil's sister, and I was once a member of the royal house of Lordaeron. Though I was never intended to rule, and nor would I seek to, some might see me as seeking authority where I have none, or representing the Alliance when I do not. Or some hear the name Menenthil and are rightly horrified by my brother's actions. But I am my own soul, and I have lost as much to the Scourge as any survivor of Lordaeron. All I wish now is to help. The plague unleashed during the war has tainted the land and disturbed the dead. That is to say, more than they already were. We have worked hard to rebuild, but our people cannot complete their efforts while under threat. My first duty is to ensure the safety of the Forsaken. I will meet with the others as Kalia requests, but first you must help me eradicate some of these blighted.
Vendello, Eranu. I will join the meeting, but we must ensure that the outskirts of Brill are secure.
Long for the day when I and the apothecaries can return to our experiments in the Undercity. What a waste. Who are you? Master Apothecary Farinil at your service? Well, at the service of the Forsaken, naturally. I am a patriarch of potions, artist of alchemy, maestro of the mixtures. My concoctions and my laboratories are legendary. That is, when I had a real laboratory. But one thing at a time. It is time to meet with the other Forsaken.
Yes, I will come. But first, behold, as my creation eradicates the blight. You may applaud at any time. No! My beautiful construct! Dash it all! How can we hope to succeed now?
And that's where we stand. Sylvanas is gone, and our homeland remains overrun with toxic blight.
This is a hard time for the Forsaken. It feels like we're always saying that, but it's true. But we'll take care of ourselves and not wait for anyone else to swoop in and save us. We have to stick together. Who are you? I am Lillian Voss. Who I was before doesn't matter so much now, but it's taken me a while to get there. I've tried to help others who had a rough time as much as I can, and I'll try not to disappoint them. We have to make something of the world ourselves, because the world sure isn't going to give us anything. Do you trust Kalia? I haven't decided yet, but I've got my eye on her.
Keep your guard up.
How can I escape
Derek
this
Proudmoore.
nightmare?
At last there is a place for me. Why are you here, Derek Proudmoore? My little sister Jaina introduced me to Kalia after I unexpectedly returned from the sea. Lady Kalia has helped me confront what all this means now, with patience and grace, and I will stand with her to serve as I am able. Lillian, it is time for you to meet with the other Forsaken.
I will attend this gathering. After all, someone needs to make sure Kalia gets a chance to speak up for herself.
Well met.
Who are you, Dark Ranger? I am Velinara, a former ranger of the Keldorai. I served under Ranger General Sylvanas Windrunner, and I served the Banshee Queen in death. I am loyal to the Forsaken and the Horde, and will use my bow in their defense for as long as I have strength. How do you feel about Kalia? Some might also ask if the Dark Rangers are to be trusted as well. We were Sylvanas' closest cohorts, and even we were left behind. I have declared my allegiance to the Forsaken. Kalia should be given the opportunity to prove the same.
Adiel Shala.
That should give our guards some breathing room, metaphorically speaking, of course. Thank you for the help, Metro.
We will forge a new future.
Looks like we're ready to get started. I don't think there have been this many Forsaken in one place since, well, Darkshore. But we are in our own lands now, and it's time we take care of our own.
Do not linger.
We, the Forsaken, have been through a lot since the destruction of Lordaeron, but we're determined to keep our home. Why should we give up when we fought so hard to carve out for ourselves? Kalia is still a relative newcomer in some ways, but obviously she's known to her people. How could she not be, as the sister of Arthas himself? I hope we can move forward and that she can really help. Her voice could be a powerful one if she is really truly committed to the people.
There is much to be done.
Let us begin.
Do not linger. All right. What are we going to do about the plague in the Undercity?
Don't you mean what are we going to do about her?
We should focus on the Blight. Farinel, do we have any more of your Plague Eaters?
This is my last one! And it's a puny thing. I can make more, but to be effective, they must be formulated to survive the plague!
If I may, our allies in the Shadowlands might be able to provide insight. In particular, the Plague Lords of Maldraxxus.
What do you propose?
Master Apothecary, what do you need to make your creation stronger?
Nothing less than a pure, undiluted sample of that plague. From deep within its reaches.
Very well. I will help acquire that sample for you.
That is one solution. You won't succeed.
I expected that my presence might cause friction, but I am grateful to Lillian for her mediation and for giving me the chance to show that I am committed to helping the Forsaken people. But now I must prove it.
For Lordaeron.
I promised that I would help, and I shall. We need that pure sample of the plague afflicting Lordaeron, but we cannot put anyone else at risk. Come with me. I will call forth a shield of holy light to safeguard us deep into the blighted area so that we can collect that sample. This spell will require my full focus. I'll trust that you protect us from anything that might try to stop us. Are you with me?
I stand ready to help.
Let's get that plague sample.
Stay close and be wary. I can't hold back the effects of the blight for long, and we don't know what threats are lurking out there. The toxicity is overwhelming. This should be far enough. Hurry! Get the sample. That's it. We need to get back. My shield is starting to fail. Keep fighting. We're almost there.
Well, I'll be.
She did it and survived.
That's something you don't see every day.
Keep
We
your
have the
guard
blight
up.
sample. Now to bring it to the Plague Lords of Maldraxxus.
I hope you're right about their expertise, Lady Menethil. This could give us a fighting chance to restore the city.
I'll accompany Kalia along with our friend here. Farinel, we'll need to bring your last Plague Eater with us too.
Do be careful with it. Should these Plague Lords bolster its resilience, the apothecaries can replicate it many times over.
I hope Kalia is right about these Lords of Maldraxxus. We've only gotten one Plague Eater left too, but Farinel says he can replicate more of them as long as they're strong enough to survive. Let's get to the Shadowlands.
We are grateful for your aid, Margrave.
Maw Walker, I sensed you had a part to play in this. Step forward.
You carry a rather nasty example of the unchecked and unfettered ambition of a plague maker. I trust the creator of this monstrosity has already been purged. What would you ask of the houses of Maldraxxus? The one with the knowledge you seek is a survivor of the House of Plagues. You already know him. Plague Deviser Merilith may not be the most lucid of conversationalists, but he will know what to do with your plague. Find him near the ruins of that fallen house, but be wary. Many things lurking there could end your existence without a hint of concern.
Claim victory at at any price.
Before I take my leave, Margrave, may I speak to you concerning the nature of undeath?
You will find no one with greater knowledge on the subject than I, mortal. Proceed.
The Forsaken were raised through necromancy, and this shared origin has provided them a sense of unity. I, however, was raised by the light. That difference has caused me to wonder if I can ever truly find a place among them.
Necromancy is the art of animating unliving flesh. Here in Maltraxis, we use the magic of death to accomplish our craft. But whether these rituals are empowered by death, or light, or any other magic, necromancy is necromancy. You perceive a difference where there is none, child.
Then perhaps I have found my purpose. Thank you, Margrave. Your perspective has been a great help.
We brought this tiny plague eater. Can you make it stronger?
Your little friend there looks hungry, and not to worry, I know just what to feed it. Soon it will grow big and strong and be able to eat all the plague it can. There are various concoctions nearby that will give it bolstering properties, and every color is a different flavor. I will take the plague sample you brought me deeper into the House of Plagues to see what else we can learn. Meet me there and let your plague eater dine in style.
Everything you need can be found in the House of Plagues. Well, let's get this sample of yours ready for testing.
Did he just walk into... Oh, never mind. I'd better give him some cover. Meet you farther in.
I will call upon the light to shield you from the caustic fog. Be careful.
The House of Plagues has suffered calamity, much like Lordaeron. I hope that our work and effort here will reverse some of that destruction. But first, we must reach farther into the House of Plagues so we can strengthen the capabilities of Farinel's Plague Eater. Any slime or creature you slay will surely help it gain fortitude.
May you find peace within.
While you bolster your little friend, I'll see what I can learn about your plague sample. My, oh my, what a pernicious little strain. Let's give it some body and study its characteristics. What? Ouch!
Devisor! Oh, blast it! The plague sample turned on him. Hurry and get over here!
Did you see that? What a fearsome plague sample you brought me. It hit me in the head and quite nearly killed your friend, apprentice. Marvelous. What a nasty little plague you've brought me, apprentice. Must have been concocted by a true sadist. To study the sample, I gave it form, but the ungrateful thing turned on me and attacked, completely unprovoked. It's shuffled a bit further on into the house, and I hate to say it, but I believe this one must be put down before it is allowed to grow any stronger or larger. Look on the bright side. If your plague eater manages to survive, it'll be attuned to your particularly terrible form of blight.
That plague sample you brought put up quite a fight. I'm afraid you'll have to deal with it now.
Take the plague eater with you. If it survives that monstrosity, we'll know we've got the right formula.
Despite all the trouble that sample gave us, I think I actually have a little bit of hope now. We strengthened our Plague Eater and now it looks ready to take on a much bigger meal. Let's get it back to Farinell. He said he can replicate its properties and disperse Plague Eaters all across the ruins. Then maybe, just maybe, we can set foot in our home again. Here, take my Hearthstone. It'll bring you back to Brill.
Kalia and I will get the Plague Eater to the apothecaries. Use my Hearthstone and meet us back in Tirisfal.
It was wonderful seeing you again, my apprentice. Do remember to visit.
Forsaken.
Checking in. What's next?
We have replicated and loaded my improved Plague Eaters. We are ready to deploy.
Master Apothecary, you should know that the blight sample we took to Maldraxxus took form and became aggressive.
Really? I suppose that should make it easier to kill. Ingenious! Wish I'd thought of that.
Wonderful. Not only did you manage to not lose my Plague Eater, you brought it back stronger than ever. Now, witness the genius and rapidity of my machines. There will be more than enough Plague Eaters to spread across the surface of the Undercity. By the light, I pray our plan works. Master Apothecary, Farinell's wagons have reproduced the Plague Eaters many times over, and the bats are ready to deploy them. If you see a place where our forces could spread even more of the remedy, you can signal them with a flare. Take to the skies, and let's put an end to this blight.
All our efforts have come to this. I pray our strategy works.
My forces will join you in the skies to help with any unforeseen side effects.
It's working! The Plague Eaters are consuming the blight!
They've eaten their fill, and now they're gathering up in the middle of the ruins?
Keep going! Whatever happens, we will be ready.
The Plague Eaters have merged into a gigantic monstrosity! Kill it! Kill it now!
We did it! What a fight! Meet us down in the courtyard now that the ruins are clearing.
We did it. By working together, we cleared the surface level of the deadly plague cloud. It will take more time to clean up the lower reaches of the Undercity, but it's a fine start. By combining our knowledge and expertise, we restored the surface of the Undercity to the Forsaken. It was only possible by setting aside our distrust and acting for the good of our people. Now, it's time to make this council official. We are no longer the same undead that followed and served Sylvanas Windrunner. From here on, we lead ourselves, with the same spirit of independence and pride we've had since we reclaimed our free will. It's time for a new future and new leadership.
No more excuses. No more Banshee Queen. The Forsaken have many different points of view, and we should be led by a council, not a single ruler.
My fellow Dark Rangers and I are with you.
Are we really going to trust a Menethil on the council?
I cannot escape the shadows of my past, but I have no desire for a throne. My place is here among you, and I vow to serve all our people.
I take you at your words, Lady Menethil. And we, the apothecaries, will help shape our brighter future.
Then it's settled. We are the Desolate Council. We are the Forsaken.
I am greatly honored that they have accepted me as part of the new leadership of the Forsaken. I swear that I will do my best to protect and preserve the people, no matter what they come from, or what form of undeath has created them.
Honor the past, but embrace the future.
Well met.
Velenar appears at you knowingly. It was a fair disguise, but I saw at once that you were not one who you claimed to be. Regardless, you risked your life to aid us. I will not forget that. There are those among the Kaldori raised by Sylvanas' Valkyr who wish to return to their own. If Tyrande would have them back, they are free to go. The rest will be welcome in the ranks of the Dark Rangers. In recognition for your service to us, I offered this gift.
When we dark fallen elves were raised into undeath, Silvermoon shunned us. All that we knew, all that we loved, had been lost. In time, we found a place here within the ruins of Lordaeron. But after it was blighted in the war, we feared we had lost this home too. Today, we not only reclaimed our legacy, we began a new path forward. And for aiding our cause, we owe you a great debt. Many of the Kaldori raised during the battle for Darkshore wish to remain here with the Dark Rangers. But any who choose to depart and rejoin the Alliance are free to do so. Hadiel Shala. Farewell.
Thank you for all your assistance leading to this historic moment. I believe there may have been others who were interested in what happened here. Please carry this letter and my well wishes when you return to them.
For Lordaeron. So many memories.
All I do for Gilneas.
Give Genn Greymane the letter.
We
King
will have
Greymane,
justice for the fallen.
The ally you sent to aid us was most effective. In return for your patience, I offer a gesture of goodwill. With the formation of the new Desolate Council, one of the first topics I intend to discuss is the withdrawal of Forsaken troops from Gilnean lands. This effort will take time, but I believe that we will come to an accord, and that both our kingdoms will see a brighter future.
Well, this is welcome news. I find myself surprised in a pleasant way for the first time in a long while. Let us all hope that the future is indeed brighter.
They did what? And Kalia has proposed a discussion on the return of Gilneas? Your ability astounds me, Metro. Well done.
The Alliance must endure.
Absolutely magnificent. I have to say, I always love when they tell great racial stories in this game, and the undead have been dying for theirs for a long time, but it is inexorably connected to the Worgen. I've seen a lot of people like critical about why the Alliance actually do this quest as well, and I could understand the point of view of that, but if you actually follow the Worgen storyline from Cataclysm, which is still there in the Worgen starting zone, you will see that they have an immensely complicated history with not only the stuff that's going on in their immediate vicinity, but pretty much everything in Tirisfal Glades that's related to the undead. That's literally from Cataclysm onward, and that only becomes more and more apparent as we go. But I'm really glad to have been able to do that as an Alliance, and I'm really glad that we also got some very cool customization as well. If you haven't already seen it, you get a remarkably cool customization that's meant to make you look like a Dark Ranger. The interesting thing that I've been talking about though is that since I'm a female night elf, I actually look really similar to Sylvanas' original character model. Now, if you've never seen it, they didn't actually have high elf or blood elf models in Classic, so she actually just used a night elf model, and they basically made her look exactly like this. On top of that, when you do this as a hunter, you get a specific transmog that's meant to make you look like a Dark Ranger even further. What's really peculiar about that is once you finish it, you then have to go make the purchase. It's now a class specific transmog, so we're going to end up having to go to the True Shot Lodge here in Legion. Never a bad reason to come to High Mountain, but it is a bit weird, don't you think?
I can smell your fear.
So there we go. There's the set, the Dark Ranger's attire. And I have to say, it actually looks better in game than I thought it was going to. I'm really glad that they're still making stuff like this for the game, man. It's really cool when you get class-themed, you know, very lore-themed transmog customization in general. And it looks so good with this customization for the Night Elf. So I love the concept of using a hood as a hunter. It's just so unique about elves. Like, all the elves in WoW always have hoods. It's like a common fantasy trope, I suppose. But, you know, in WoW, the hunter class uses mail, right? So it doesn't really get a lot of benefit from leather or cloth looking transmogs. So this looks really like leather and a little cloth. Absolutely perfect for what I've always loved about this. So I have to say, absolutely smashed it out of the park with this one. 9.2.5 didn't have a lot of stuff in it, but I'm really glad that they kept this hidden. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this look at a really unique and interesting storyline. Pretty clear that there's going to be more to come with the undead stuff and especially Tirisfal Glades in general. So thank you for watching. We will see you guys in the next video.